Alright, y'all. Welcome back to No Wooden Nickels. How y'all be? This is gonna be a video to help explain or give further clarification to any of my viewers that could use a better understanding of what their rights are and the definitions of certain terms in law. You know, in my past, and a lot of you probably can resonate with, not at some point or another, rather, not knowing what your rights are in accordance with the law. And this video will be to provide key points of information to help bridge that gap, so as my viewers or anybody that's watching for the first time will have a better grasp as it relates to their understanding of their rights as it relates to the law. Pardon me. Excuse me. Okay. All right. First definition I want to give y'all is for any of the following words, the definition is actually the same. So hopefully y'all can hear me good. Let me go ahead and begin reading. Agency, entity, department, subdivision, subsidiary, contractor, employee, inspector, investigator, organization, officer, official, agent, branch of government, group, authorized representative, policeman, police officer, and participant. Means any person, corporation, or or entity of any kind which works for, is compensated all or in part by, receives funds or collects funds for, contracts with, receives any benefit from, receives any privilege from, participates with, has allegiance to, or in any way has a relationship with government of the United States or the United States Corporation or any of its subsidiaries, subcorporations, departments, or agencies, etc. The word representative, where used in this respect, shall have the same meaning, pardon me. Okay. Now, the next word I'll be giving you a definition to is appellation. Reason being is because corporations, corporate persons, and corporate entities and corporate fictions have names. Living, breathing, sentient beings have appellations. The definition is as follows: a general term that introduces and specifies a particular term which may be used in addressing, greeting, calling out for, and making appeals of a particular living, breathing, flesh and blood man, whether that be a man or a womb man. If you know, you know. The next definition is artificial person. See, quick side note, one of the reasons why a lot of us get tripped up and fucked up as it relates to law or any of the descriptive entities in the first definition when dealing with or moving about in society is because we don't understand that a lot of the same words that we use in our everyday vocabulary also have a dual legal meaning. Hence this video. So, artificial person means a fictitious entity / trust that was created by the government of the United States and or parents acting unknowingly in concert, or the United States corporation for transacting in commerce. This artificial man or straw man is represented by the all capital letter name that appears to be spelled the same as the name of the natural man or woman. When the artificial person is used in commerce, okay, that's relative to something else, but it ends with the sentence that states the artificial man or straw man is represented by the all capital letter name that appears to be spelled the same as the natural man or woman. Okay. Let me see. Assault and battery with a weapon means any use of, threatened, or perceived use of any weapon against you by any representative of the government of the United States or the United States corporation that creates an atmosphere of fear for you. This includes non-lethal weapons such as tasers, stun guns, mace, pepper spray, any chemical used to incapacitate, rubber bullets, shock force weapons, electronic weapons, or any other type of weapon that may be used to control or create fear. That in and of itself is a force of threat, duress, and coercion. That's important to know because based on observation, experience, and analyzation, a lot of times these policemen or officers or public officials approach you, they use threatening nonverbal behavior. And for those that are none the wiser as to what things mean in law, also their rights in law, they'll be at a loss as to how to conduct themselves and to verbalize and assert certain rights, or to kind of, at least bring focus to the threatening mannerisms and behaviors of these officers. All right. Okay. One document, two documents. Okay. That hold on. Yeah. Yeah. One document that you guys need to familiarize yourselves with is the Bill of Rights. And the definition for the Bill of Rights means the original Bill of Rights to the Constitution for the United States of America, dated 1791. Okay. Okay. Clerk of the public record. Okay. Means any clerk who records documents on the public record and who is employed by a city, county, state, municipality, federal government, international, multinational, multi-jurisdictional corporation, such as the United States. All right. The next is okay, coercion or attempt to coerce. Means any attempt by any representative of the government of the United States or the United States Corporation to threaten, intimidate, deprive, conceal, or in any way prevent you from receiving and enjoying any right or privilege that is granted, outlined, or secured by the Constitution for the United States of America, the Honorable Bill of Rights, and the Constitution of whatever state you're from, or to knowingly allow or instruct another to do so. That is a big one because it happens every day. It happens out in society, in the streets, it happens in courtrooms, it happens in police departments, precincts, you know. Now, hold on. Okay. Conspiracy. I believe, no, I'm going to read it anyway. Conspiracy means the cooperation of two or more persons working together to restrict, suppress, inhibit, or in any way deprive one of any right, benefit, or privilege that would ordinarily be offered by the Constitution for the United States of America, the Bill of Rights, and or Constitution of the state that you're from, and or to a citizen of the United States of the state that you're from. This also includes the provisions to it real fast. Um, okay. It also includes obstruction of justice, which means any attempt by an officer of the court, means a lawyer, a judge, or a policeman, police officer, or representative of any agency that that represents the government of the United States or the United States Corporation. One second. Or any of its subdivisions, agencies, contractors, etc., to deprive, hinder, conceal, coerce, threaten, in an attempt to prevent his any and every opportunity to legally, lawfully defend him or herself by attempting to produce and file lawful documents and or testimony to officers, judges, magistrates, the court, clerk of court, or representatives in order to settle any legal/lawful controversy. This also includes any attempt by a judge or officer of the court from hindering you from filing, admitting, presenting, discussing, questioning, or using any evidence, document, paper, photographs, audio and or video recordings, or any other type of evidence that they desire to submit as evidence in any type of court proceeding. The determination of what is evidence and what will be admitted is to be solely determined. Hold on. No, that part doesn't apply. Any evidence will be tried on merits of the lawful content and validity. Any judge or officer of the court who attempts to suppress or dismiss legal or lawful evidence will voluntarily surrender all bonds. Hold on. No, that also doesn't apply. Okay, this also includes evidence that is supported by case law. This includes attempts by any officer of the court from making motions, orders such as gag orders, or any other means of keeping information suppressed from the public or the public record or the official record. The determination of whether the acts of the court are an attempt to suppress evidence will, okay. Okay, it equates to racketeering. You know, the same way that they use against people that either sell drugs or run organizations that are deemed illegal. But right now, I want to take a pause and put a little clarity on what it is I'm doing right now. And that is this. First of all, people, I need everybody watching right now to understand that, first of all, there is a such thing as nationality, to which the majority of us have not. We are lacking a nationality. You can have a Caucasian, a white man, or a so-called white man. I'll say a Caucasian to better depict what it is and who it is I'm speaking about. that was born in Africa and migrates to the United States, Caucasian man or woman, if they were born and raised in Africa and migrates to the United States, they are more of an African American than you. Carbonated, melanated, you know. It's a misnomer. You know, it's a label, one of the many, Negro, colored, black, you know, African American, that they gave us, and we lack so much knowledge of ourselves and who and what we are that we blindly accept them. And that just assists them in the relegation of us to the lowest parts of society. I keep telling y'all, history is best qualified through research. If you go back far enough, you'll see that the term black was synonymous with Moor. You know, it's also proof of what I'm saying is, why do you think they can't, you know, what do they call that? When they put you out of your country and send you back to where you come from. Deportation. Why do you think they have yet to find a way to deport us? Don't let that go over your head. It's the same reason why you have 85 to 90% of us in their private prisons, that they utilize the music industry to assist in funding, also due to a lack of our knowledge. Anyway, let me get back to it. So before I get back to it, all that said to say this: if you do not have a nationality, you might want to take a break from all the partying and, you know, whatever it is that you do, to set aside some time to investigate that. Because those who do not have a nationality do not have international protections at law. This is a main reason why you see them able to slaughter us with very little, if any, redirect or consequence. It's also why the Dred Scott case was lost. You know, what remedies at law do you have when you freely, knowingly, willingly consent to the status of Negro, colored, black, African American, or a 14th Amendment United States citizen? See, and again, I'm not browbeating y'all. What I'm saying is, I understand that I didn't always think as I do today. And that is primarily my reason for sharing such information with y'all, my viewers, even if this is your first time watching the video from me. This is primarily my reasoning for extending such information to y'all, because it is the crux as to why certain remedies at law do not apply to you. You know, instead of, you know, giving and putting your faith and well-being in the hands of somebody that don't give a flying fuck about you, all they want is your money. And trust me when I tell you, they already overstand that we don't understand, first of all, and most importantly, who and what we are, based on that, it gives them full latitude to do everything that they do, knowing that we don't understand status, jurisdiction, and based on those two, the way they're able to adjudicate against us. So with that being stated, I'm going to get back to these definitions, and I hope that that side note that I just gave y'all will tug a little firmly at your attention. Okay. Tug more firmly, rather. Okay, this is a heavy one. Contract. Let me see. A contract means any agreement in writing that has been offered for review and accepted by another party, wherein the offering party has 10 days or more, or as stipulated in the contract, to review and respond, accept or rebut any provisions of the contract as indicated in the contract. Non-response, give me a second. Non-response on the part of the receiving party or agent of the receiving party will be a lawful offer and acceptance of all the terms and conditions contained in said contract. Rebuttal by the receiving party of any provision of the contract by any means other than those as are indicated in the contract will be non-response. Return of the contract unopened and or without review will be acceptance of all conditions of said contract. Recording the contract with the clerk of court or any public records officer will be a lawful offer and notification and will be presentment to all offers of the contract in that state or county. Notice to agent is notice to principal, and notice to the principal is notice to the agent. That's one of the maxims at law. Again, anybody that's basically a novice to law or any of the terms that I'm speaking of, I understand that this might be a little confusing initially, as is anything, until you gain a fundamental understanding of. However, whether you stay confused or it stays relatively foreign to you is totally up to you. One of the main things about law that's so it's so relative to our condition as a whole, and they always talk about this education bullshit. They don't teach you none of this shit in school. But they call themselves presenting or getting you ready for life, which is complete and utter bullshit. So I advise for any of y'all that have children, especially if you have some prerequisite knowledge of the things I'm sharing with you guys, educate your children, man. Educate your children, man. Don't leave it up to the public school system, man. Understand, and I know personally, my daughter's in school. She's in public school as of right now. However, within the last 2 years, I started taking initiative in my youngest daughter's, education. And this is my experience. This is just a side note. I'll get back to the definitions in a second, but I feel this is important for me to share to y'all. Do not, and this is just my opinion and a suggestion to the people, do not leave it solely up to the educational system to educate your child. My daughter was being passed every year, and she's only in the 6th grade right now. However, after I started taking initiative in her education to personally find out where she's at, where her weaknesses lie, and as well as where her strengths reside, I found out that initially I thought it was just a reading issue. So I took the time to strengthen that, assist her, and work with her in strengthening that. Then I realized that it was a comprehension issue. So I've been working with her on that to this day until she's, at the level or close enough to the level where I'm at, regardless of what grade she's in. And then I also recently found out that she had an issue with the phonetics and grammar, proper sentence structure, nouns, verbs, adjectives, conjunctions, all of that stuff. So this is what we're working on because, mind you, the only thing out of all of that bullshit that they teach you in school, especially, elementary, middle, and high school, well, let's say elementary and middle school, I'll put it there. The main thing that a child needs to know is how to read and comprehend and be introduced to the etymology, because for those of us that don't know, English is the youngest language in existence, and it's a bastard language because it borrows and takes from everything. And if you haven't been paying attention, they've even introduced and added, Ebonics to the dictionary. Come on, man, what part of the game is that? That lets you know how loose this shit is, So, and they don't even teach them cursive writing no more. That's the next thing on my list with her, So, if I can suggest anything, find, it ain't nothing that you're doing that important, whereas though you shouldn't know exactly where your child is as far as, what they know. Ain't none of this these fiat FDRs, FRNs rather. Ain't none of them shits that important, But anyway, I don't want to get off into another subject matter that'll basically take me off of the confines of what this video is about. I just felt as though I do that every now and then. And sometimes I gotta go ahead and just get shit off my head. When it comes, I feel the need to put it out there, and guys, receive it as you will. Okay. Okay, now, the next one is a good one too. All right? And this is something that a lot of people are not cognizant of. It's a couple of them coming up. First one is corporate capacity. Means acting for or on behalf of a corporation or government entity while under law or color of law. Color of law. That's basically what they running the country off of right now. What they dealing with is based off of. That's why I say, I always put emphasis on codes, regulations, and statutes. You know. Anyway, the next one is corporate fiction. Corporate fiction is a corporation, a creation of the law, a creation of the law that does not actually exist in nature, like a natural man or woman. A legal entity that is false and not real, but which the law assumes to be true. This is what they govern. This is what we've been. This is what we've been governed by, man. This is what's happening. This is why I laugh. I don't laugh. I used to laugh, but now it's not even a fucking joke. All you political gurus. And again, man, that's the only reason it's not a knock, and it's not, me making mockery. It is to a degree, but it's really not. It's almost like a dual situation because, for you to go all out and go as far as I see a lot of y'all going, why you ain't telling people what this shit's really based off of? Are you that invested in your agent, your capacity as an agent for the agency of the corporation? Do you not have family members? Do you not have loved ones? Do you not have friends and close associates that you feel like need to know this shit? Yeah, that's why to a degree it is me making a mockery out of you. And then the other half, maybe you don't know. I have to take that in consideration. Maybe you are none the wiser. Maybe you've just been victimized as everybody else is. However, the fact, based on you not doing independent research or being invested or vested into the knowledge that you've acquired, and you put your heart into it. So, it's a dual situation. Anyway, man, next one is corporation. Means any representative, agency, subcorporation, contractor, or any person or entity that is employed by, receives, or distributes funds for, receives any benefit or privilege from, or has any relationship of any kind with the government of the United States or the United States Corporation. Another side note, I know off of experience because I've, as I always do, anything I run across information-wise that I know is of a benefit, I extend that information freely. I share that information. But the experience that I always run across is people, they scared of this shit. They either they don't believe it's actual fact, or they, oh, you fucking with the government. Mother nigga. Government, hold on. All right, let's go here. God created man, right? If we're gonna deal with it like this, because I know a lot of y'all believe this way, and there's nothing wrong with that. But I'm just for the sake of an analogy to further my point. God created man, man created government. So how is something that is a creation of man control man, dictate to man? That's what this democracy is. Under the republic, for which it stands, how we all came up, being lied to. The government can't dictate shit to you. The government works for you under the common law, public official, for and by the people. Come on, man. Hold up. All right, this is another good one. Constitution for the United States of America. Okay? It means the Constitution for the United States of America of 1787, as opposed to the Constitution of the United States Corporation of 1868. There is a difference. Okay. Let's get back to it. Let me see. Okay. All right. Cruel and unusual punishment. This is kind of a lengthy definition. It means physical violence of any type or form that is used against. Hold on. No. See, this is what I'm saying. It depends on what your status is, how the laws apply to you. You know. And if you don't understand that, I just broke it down. Go back in the video and see where I basically pointed out nationality and the lack of international rights or international protections at law, etc. Okay. All right. Okay. Let me see. Okay. Here's one. Ens legis is spelled E-N-S with a space L-E-G-I-S. Okay? The term ens legis means a creature of the law, i.e., birth certificate, an artificial being, such as a corporation, considered as deriving its existence entirely by the law, as contrasted with a natural person / natural man or woman. And you wonder why, the laws don't seem to work for us. I'm giving you all this shit. And I'm about to cut it. Okay. Okay. All right. Yeah, this is gonna be my last one for this video because I'm at 45 minutes. I don't want to drag this on too long. I just, I felt like, these are just some of the things I needed to introduce to my viewers so that way they would see the need for independent research and study of the laws, of the things, of everything that I've put in this video. It behooves you. All right. Last and final definition I'm going to read to y'all is government of the United States. The term government of the United States has more than one meaning. If you have your status and your standing at Law and Commerce corrected, it would mean the government that was originally established in the Constitution for the United States of America, adopted in 1787, and does not include any imposter government known by any name whatsoever, no matter how similar in spelling the name of any such imposter government may appear to be to the spelling of the name of the constitutionally authorized government of the United States. It is to be noted that the term United States, as used here, is plural and not singular in number, as is the name United States used by the imposter government, i.e., the United States Corporation, now acting as the government of the United States. Do your research, people. This is this is critical information. If you feel as though it's not, then by all means carry on. Do what you've been doing. Be subjugated as you've been being subjugated, and get what you've been getting. But personally, man, I feel like Hov felt in his documentary about A Genius Leaves the Hood. He basically was saying that in the projects he grew up here, had a family here, and here. And he laid out a bunch of other circumstances that he was subjugated to growing up in those circumstances. And he said, if this is all I got to look forward to, then I'm going to take a chance for some more. I ain't, dick riding or none of that shit, but think about it. It makes sense, man. But why is it that all we can seem to do is what they propagate to us to do when we have our own minds? Yeah, they via the music and the entertainment business, they push a lot of shit. This is why I talked about the diet being more than what you put in your mouth. It's also what you watch, what you listen to. Because only thing can come out of you is what you take in. So, again, man, I'm not gonna browbeat y'all, but I can't stress enough the importance of continuing to learn, to appraise what you've been taught to be true, even if it's from your parents. Understand that they did what they knew how to do. They did the best they could do with what they knew. But we are the next generation. The next generation is always supposed to improve, be better, go farther. They got it said enough, man. Y'all be easy.